A spider can be cautious, a bird can be reckless, an octopus can be shy, and somewhere in a forest, two animals of the same species, the same age, and the same size can face the exact same danger in completely different ways. One freezes, one runs, one investigates, one attacks. For a long time, scientists avoided calling this personality. That word sounded too human, too emotional, too close to imagination. Animals had instincts, humans had personalities. That was the old assumption, but the evidence did not behave. Across forests, oceans, rivers, deserts, and laboratories, researchers kept finding the same strange pattern. Wild animals were not just reacting randomly to the world, they were showing consistent differences. Some were bold again and again. Some were cautious again and again. Some explored faster. Some avoided novelty. Some took risks even when risk was dangerous. And the deeper question became harder to ignore. If wild animals have personalities, then personality may not be a luxury of human consciousness. It may be something older, something shaped by hunger, danger, reproduction, fear, and death. Most people assume personality begins with self-awareness. The science suggests something stranger. It may begin with survival. The mystery starts with a simple observation. Imagine two great tits, small woodland birds found across Europe and Asia, placed in a new room with unfamiliar objects. One bird moves quickly. It hops from perch to perch. It inspects corners. It approaches strange objects almost immediately. The other bird waits. It scans. It hesitates. It explores slowly, as if the room itself might be hiding teeth. At first, this looks like mood. Maybe one bird is hungry. Maybe one is tired. Maybe one had a bad morning. But researchers discovered something more important. When these birds were tested again, many behaved in similar ways. The fast explorers stayed relatively fast. The slow explorers stayed relatively slow. That changed the question. Scientists were no longer asking whether animals sometimes act differently. Of course they do. The real question was whether those differences remain stable enough to matter. And that is where animal personality enters the story. In biology, personality does not mean charm, humor, ambition, or the complicated social mask humans wear at dinner. It means consistent individual differences in behavior, repeatable patterns, a tendency to respond to the world in a particular way. Boldness, aggression, exploration, sociability, activity, caution. These are not human labels pasted onto animals for comfort. They are measurable behaviors. Researchers can test how quickly an animal explores a new space, how close it approaches a predator cue, how strongly it reacts to a rival, how often it joins others, or how willing it is to take a risk for food. And then something unexpected happened. These traits did not stay neatly inside one situation. A fish that was bold near food might also be bold near a predator. A spider that attacked prey quickly might also behave aggressively toward rivals. A bird that explored fast might also behave differently in social networks. This is called a behavioral syndrome. It means behaviors can be linked across contexts. The animal carries a pattern with it. That is the strange part. In nature, flexibility should be useful. An animal should be bold when boldness pays, cautious when caution pays, aggressive when aggression helps, and calm when calm is safer. The perfect survivor should change like water, but many animals do not. They show tendencies. They have behavioral signatures. And sometimes, those signatures get them killed. This is where the mystery deepens. Because personality seems dangerous. A bold animal may find food faster. It may discover new territory. It may win mates. It may dominate competitors. But boldness has a cost. The same animal may also expose itself to predators. It may approach traps. It may fight too often. It may fail to retreat. A cautious animal may survive longer. It may avoid danger. It may notice threats earlier. But caution also has a cost. It may miss food. It may lose territory. It may reproduce later. It may spend its life surviving without ever gaining enough. So why would nature allow both? Why not produce one ideal animal? The answer is that nature rarely rewards one perfect strategy forever. It rewards strategies that work under certain conditions. And conditions change. A bold animal may thrive when food is scattered and competition is high. A shy animal may thrive when predators are everywhere. A fast explorer may succeed in a new environment. A slow explorer may do better in a stable one. Personality is not simply good or bad, it is a wager. Each animal is born, develops, and learns into a world it cannot fully predict. Its personality becomes a biological bet on what kind of world it is living in. Researchers saw this clearly in long-term studies of wild birds. Great tits became one of the most important species in animal personality research because scientists could test their exploration behavior, track individuals, study survival, and follow reproduction in the wild. The results were not simple. Fast explorers were not always better. Slow explorers were not always worse. Their success depended on the environment. In some conditions, one strategy gained an advantage. In other conditions, the opposite strategy could matter more. That is what makes personality evolution so fascinating. It is not a ladder. It is a balance of risks. But birds are only the beginning. Octopuses made the problem stranger. An octopus has a nervous system unlike ours. Much of its neural control is distributed through its arms. It does not have a mammalian face. It does not live in human-like social groups. It is separated from us by hundreds of millions of years of evolution. And yet, researchers studying octopuses found consistent individual differences. Some were more active, some were more reactive, some avoided more, some interacted with objects differently. This mattered because it suggested personality does not require a human-like brain. It does not even require a vertebrate brain. The octopus became a kind of living question mark. If an animal this different from us can show stable behavioral tendencies, then personality may have evolved more than once. It may be a recurring solution to the same ancient problem. How should a living body behave when the world is uncertain? But researchers discovered something even stranger. Personality can influence social life. In wild great tits, individual differences in behavior were connected to how birds associated with others. Some individuals were more likely to form certain patterns of social connection. This means personality does not only shape how an animal faces danger, it can shape who it meets, who it follows, who it avoids, what information it receives. In nature, information is survival. A bird that joins the right flock can learn where food is. A fish that watches others can detect predators sooner. A primate that navigates relationships well can gain protection, mating opportunities, or access to resources. So personality does not sit inside the animal like a private decoration. It reaches outward. It changes the animal's position in the living network around it. That raises a deeper question. Are animals simply responding to the world? Or does each animal experience a slightly different world because of its personality? A bold animal creates a world of encounters. A shy animal creates a world of hiding places. An aggressive animal creates a world of conflict. A social animal creates a world of signals. The same forest is not the same forest for every creature inside it. The body filters reality. The nervous system edits the landscape. Personality may be one of the ways life turns the outside world into a personal one. This is not the same as saying animals think like humans. That mistake is easy. A cautious fox is not necessarily anxious in the human sense. A bold fish is not brave in the human moral sense. An aggressive spider is not angry in the way a person is angry. Scientists have to be careful. The goal is not to turn animals into little people. The goal is to understand that individuality is not uniquely human. A wild animal does not need language to have a behavioral style. It does not need autobiography to differ from another animal. It does not need to think, "This is who I am." Its body can still answer the world consistently. That is enough for biology to take notice. And once scientists took notice, personality began appearing almost everywhere. Fish, birds, mammals, insects, reptiles, cephalopods. Even animals many people think of as simple can show repeatable behavioral differences. The old picture of nature becomes harder to defend. A herd is not just a herd. A flock is not just a flock. A species is not a row of identical machines wearing different bodies. Inside the category, there are individuals, and individuals matter. This has serious consequences. Conservation biologists now consider animal personality when moving animals, breeding endangered species, or releasing individuals into the wild. A bold captive-bred animal might explore quickly after release, but it might also walk straight into danger. A shy animal might avoid predators, but fail to find food. An animal suited for a zoo may not be suited for a forest. An animal suited for one habitat may fail in another. This means saving a species is not only about counting bodies. It can also be about understanding behavioral diversity. A population with different personalities may be more resilient because different individuals solve different problems. When the world changes, variation becomes insurance. The quiet one may survive the predator. The bold one may find the new food source. The social one may spread information. The solitary one may avoid disease. Nature does not always preserve difference difference because difference is beautiful. Sometimes it preserves difference because the future is unknowable. And this is where animal personality begins to reflect something profound about our own existence. Humans often treat personality as identity. We ask who someone is. We describe them as shy, bold, anxious, curious, aggressive, gentle, restless, calm. But the roots of those patterns may reach far deeper than culture. Before personality became a story people told about themselves, it may have been a survival system, a way for nervous systems to manage uncertainty, a way for evolution to diversify risk, a way for life to avoid placing every bet on one kind of behavior. The bold animal and the cautious animal are not mistakes. They are different answers to the same question. What kind of world is this? One says, move toward it. One says, wait. One says, fight. One says, hide. One says, explore. One says, remember what happened last time. And none of them are always right. That may be the point. Because the world is not always one thing. Sometimes it rewards speed. Sometimes it punishes it. Sometimes fear saves a life. Sometimes fear costs one. Sometimes curiosity opens a territory. Sometimes curiosity becomes the final mistake. So, do wild animals have personalities? The evidence says yes, if by personality we mean consistent, individual ways of meeting the world. But the more unsettling answer is that personality may not be an ornament of intelligence. It may be one of intelligence's oldest shadows. Long before humans named themselves, defended themselves, doubted themselves, and tried to explain themselves, animals were already carrying patterns through danger. A bird entered a strange room quickly. Another waited. An octopus reached out. Another withdrew. A sheep stood calmly in human hands. Another resisted. Small choices, small differences. But in nature, small differences can become survival, reproduction, disappearance, or legacy. A personality is not just who an animal is. It is how the animal gambles with the unknown. And every wild creature is making that gamble, silently, constantly, under the pressure of a world that never explains the rules before the test begins. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. See you in the next one.